Good morning, everyone. Sage again, and welcome to the Executive Corner Expert Talks by Cal Kine. Today's guest is Ms. Priya Mishra, the CEO and Marketing Strategist at Corporality.global. And in today's show, we're going to learn more about an innovative strategic marketing company that offers opportunities for corporate advancement through the use of an intended maturation model that, once embraced and adopted, can present limitless opportunities for your business. So in today's show, we have Ms. Priya Mishra, CEO of Corporality.global. Welcome, Priya.
Thank you. Thanks for welcoming me and giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.
A very exciting time to talk to you, as you're not only an executive marketing strategist, at present you are launching a new book on personal discovery. So some say that talent is the second half of perseverance, and you are a multi-talented professional. Please take us through the driving ideas behind your new book, The Journey of Perseverance. You speak about passion, emotion, addiction and culture. Could you please elaborate?
Yeah, so The Journey of Perseverance is kind of my life learning and thoughts, how we are going to perceive our life and how we're going to be perceptualize it. And perseverance is something, it's a part of your every decision you make, right? Unless you start deciding on your daily basis how you're going to act and react and proactively make a decision, you don't know where you are ending with your goal. Your vision is clear, your goal is clear, but where you want to go and end up, you don't know, right? So that is where my journey of perseverance comes, and we talk about what you can do, what you can't do to compromise the goal and target you want to achieve.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And after many years in the IT industry and as a performance dance artist, you have now started a marketing and sales business in order to develop professional networks and skills. And Corporality.global is your business name. Could you please walk us through the list of services provided by your innovative company, please?
Yes, so we in last 7 years I've been in this business, co-partner with my husband Jayesh Mishra, and I developed this skill set long time ago. I started my career as a marketing strategist, and when I was visioning the career change, I find it I like my personality to go out and go inside and reflect. So I felt this is a very suitable profession for me to start, and the services we offer is very much relevant to the every business. So every business needs their different popular platform where they actually talk about I want sales, I want marketing, I want HR, I want finance. These are the pillars you have to have in your business, and marketing is you can't ignore. So when we decided to build our framework, because we find there was no system in marketing, so we decided to create our own framework. We call it intended maturation model. So you have to have that intention to mature with the time. When you are creating a vision and you are creating the goal to achieve what you want to achieve, then you have to think about how you're going to create that maturation model, and you reach out to the maturity where you want to reach out to the end goal. So the process is that we start with the corporality effect. We actually create your brand positioning. We create a big bang theory. We position you on the different platform, especially digital. And then we go and think about where you want to see yourself 3 years down the line. And we work on a parallel universe. One is your current and one is for your future. So your current is like you can't ignore the today, 1 year time, right? So it's 1 year is your today. You need to work on that. Then we have the 3 years down the line where you want to see yourself 3 years down, and every business coach, every coach consultant, they ask about it. And you answer that, but you don't know how to reach out. And you cannot work on the future when you reach to that future, right? You have to start now to see the reflection of that, right? So I always create two different strategy, one for today and one for tomorrow. And we work on the parallel effect, which is called futuristic approach. And once you reach to that level and you both parallel universes start giving you reflection. We start thinking about where we want to, how we want to culturally condition everyone involved with you in your process and your vision. And that's where we start working towards finding out the reason, the places where you want to show yourself. Every team members are actually sharing your value, sharing your vision, and going along with you. And they are implementing, they become your evangelist, they become your billboard. And you don't have to be there to show your own vision, show your own style. They all will be part of it.
Sounds great. I love the way you say the future is now. It has to start from this moment, and that's how it evolves into what we know as the future. And sometimes it's not always clear why a business may not be achieving its short-term goals and stagnating even when they've hired the best people and are offering brilliant services. How does corporality affect, enable business leaders to maximise their potential? I know you've touched on it a little, but do you mind elaborating further?
Yeah, so how corporality helps businesses to reach out to what they are doing in terms of leadership. I always talk about when you start a business, you're like you're wearing 100 different hat in your in a profession. When I started, I mean it's very internal, but I'm just gonna mention quickly. Like when I started, I didn't have the people with me, but I had that vision that I had to have an organizational chart day one, right? So I created finance manager, HR manager, you name it in the profession. I'm just not going to go to the whole detail, but yeah, I knew this is required. So I put Priya 1, Priya 2, Priya 3 on the every profession, right? And I know I'm going to replace this Priya 1 by this X person in the future and Y person in this, and by this time I want this and by that. Now I have 22 people working with me, and we have replaced majority of hats I was wearing. So when you work towards something, I planned it 7 years ago, the day I planted my company, 2nd of September 2014. So that's where you have to have that clarity and your number, and you need work towards it. So you become a worker, then you become a manager, then you become more technician. You are only working on a very technicality part of it, your business. Then you become your leadership, you start working on leadership, and finally you reach to the entrepreneur. Majority of successful entrepreneurs, they do not work on in their business at all. They always work on their business. Everybody talks about, oh, you should be working on your business, not in your business. But I'm saying, somebody show me, please. It's like every mother and parents teach you that you should focus, but can anybody show me how to focus?
True. There's so many distractions in today's world, and entities, corporations are so dynamic. They're constantly changing, as you say, evolving and growing. And there are a lot of buzzwords and jargon used in business, which can also be quite distracting at some points. And one of the most used words is strategy. It's thrown around left, right, and centre. How does Corporality Global use business strategy to maximise profits?
See, the way we are using a strategy, that everybody is claiming a strategy. These strategist these days, everybody is a strategist, But my sense of a strategy is a very thoughtful, aligned fashion and way you have to work on. So when you are actually having a strategy to build a strategy, then you are actually working on your strategy. So my strategy to work on a different strategy is that try and test, create your own POC, and then you would say, okay, this works for this scenario, because every strategy is not gonna work for every scenario. So this particular strategy work for this particular scenario, and this is how it's gonna give you outcome. Once you try and test it, you will be more confident to apply it on the others on a given scenario, right? I'm not saying everything you can try and test on yourself, but you can, majority of them, you can create a scenario, and it's called a scenario planning. A lot of larger organizations and even country plans it when they are planning. Even in the city planner and all, everybody plans the scenario. If this is the scenario, this can be outcome. So when you start thinking about risk and risk mitigation and capability planning, it all aspects, vertical and horizontal pillars, then that's when you start thinking a strategy, and implementation of that strategy comes with that initial planning.
Yes, totally agree with you. And I think you help businesses to vertically and horizontally integrate by networking events, which is very important to keep connected and informed about what people are doing within the enterprise and the sector. Intelligent people love problems, so they can work out a solution, usually is what they say. How does Corporality Global change the way business leaders view challenges with corporate culture, lead generation, marketing? These things often arise as a business grows and its scope changes.
Yeah, the thing is that a majority of business should think like this. It's my personal point of view, but yeah, I'm just saying the thinking, if you're thinking that you're gonna go on a certain position and you're gonna achieve XYZ, or say $1 million business, $1 trillion business, you can achieve what you want. There is no hurdle in it. Just you have to have a plan for it. Yes, you should be ready for those detours, right? There will be detours. There will be requirement of adopting and observing and going on X path to Y path instead of like G path. But all that will happen in the way. You be ready to detour, but never lose the focus and eye on the end goal. That's one thing. Second thing is that when we are creating those pillars, I noticed the majority of companies are not interacting, and I'm getting busier and busier. So one-to-one is getting harder and harder. So I understand, and I found it a challenge. I never see a problem as a problem. It's a challenge. Everything is a hurdle and a challenge, right? If it is you know how to pass those hurdles. Say it's like when we were studying, and I recall my parents used to teach me, if you are not able to memorize something, it's a hurdle in your memory. Think about what is stopping you to memorize that particular piece of one. Whether you are bored with that, whether you are not able to focus on that, or the wordings are too hard for you, or the concept is too hard for you. Once you cross those hurdles, then it is easier to memorize, right?
Absolutely.
Similarly, basic concept taught in a very early age, everybody teaches, but I'm just saying how you're going to apply those hurdle concept in your day-to-day life when you are grown up and you're going to build the business. These are all the hurdles. You can actually reach out, find out the hurdles, and learn how to eliminate. You work on when you do the multiple choice question, you work on the elimination process, right? So you eliminate based on the priority, and you work on that. What can be done faster, and you out of your brain, your productivity will be higher, and then you can focus on the tougher and complex problems.
So true. And I love what you're saying about a bit of a self-examination, because sometimes we can be our own worst critic, but also I think a truthful assessment of our own achievements and our attempts at achieving goals is very, very important. So thank you so much for sharing your insights today. That's really all we have time for on today's show. But before we go, you have a networking event coming up. Would you like to share with our viewers the information for that and how they can join if they're interested?
Yeah, sure. It's a very business oriented. So I know the majority of business are given for like 50% networking and relationship building and trust building, and the 50% is business. Here in my environment, it is very much business. So if you're coming for business, please join. And it's the business environment for to sell and buy or talk about the business and understand the business, brainstorm, mind. You can talk and listen and understand all the speakers who are joining in. It's just your 90 minutes of once in a month, every last Thursday of the month. So please join every last Thursday of the month. We run a networking event, very business oriented. You can go and build your relationship after that, because you can't build the relationship in a larger group. So again, elimination. You come, pick up whom you want to build a relationship, establish a relationship outside the business, and grow from there.
Excellent. Thank you so much for making time to talk to Kalkine TV today, Priya. We really appreciate your insights.
Thank you so much for your time today. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. And viewers, if you have just joined us, we have had a very interesting discussion with Ms. Priya Mishra, the CEO and marketing strategist from Corporality Global. And the full interview will be available on the YouTube channel Kalkine Media later today. And as we say, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.